thought disorders, they're fascinating. As we said earlier, a thought disorder is not a problem with what you think. It's not like a delusion. It's a problem with how you think. A problem with the process of thought itself. And there are many different types of thought disorder. There are thought disorders of neologism, that's new words, where people will almost make up their own language, or at the very least drop in words into conversation that are completely made up from their own heads, and yet they believe it's part of the language and they expect you to understand. There's a thought disorder called word salad, where if you imagine you have a bowl of leafy salad greens, and they're all mixed up in the bowl because that's what you do with a salad. Now imagine that those leafy greens are actually words, and imagine that those words are jumbled up, so that the person speaks what they think is a coherent paragraph or a couple of paragraphs, and actually everything is jumbled up and out of order. If you're as old as me, you'll remember Les Dawson, who used to play the piano, and he would play all the right notes but not necessarily in the right order. That's word salad. All the right words, not necessarily in the right order. It's almost impossible to make sense of what somebody says when they're speaking in word salad. Then we have flight of ideas, where ideas just go off on their own little journey, and it's again almost impossible to follow. Or knight's move thinking, where in chess we have the piece, the knight, which moves one straight and one diagonal. Some people say it moves two straight and one to the side. The effect is the same. But if you think of it as one straight and one diagonal, that's your knight's move thinking. People go off at a tangent. Or clang association, which is largely around puns. So I might, for example, say, yes, I like you. You is a female sheep. And suddenly they're off talking about sheep, because you and you sound the same. One, of course, is a person, the other one is a sheep. There are many thought disorders. All of them are identifiable not by the thoughts, because we can't see a person's thoughts, but by the words that they speak. The way that they put sentences together will tell you how organized and coherent their thinking is. Thought disorders are awful, because if you can't organize your thoughts in a way that will make sense to the other people around you, that will make sense to the world, then you can't function in the world. People with thought disorders find it difficult to organize any part of their lives, because they're just at odds with the world around them all the time. And again, like delusions, the only real way to get through thought disorders, even taking into account the issue of stress and vulnerability and rest and recreation and removing stresses, the only real approach is biological. So, make sure they get enough rest, make sure they've got good diet, make sure they have enough exercise and work balance and what have you. Work is an issue if you thought disorder to start with, of course. And medication, often sedative medication, works best. People do overcome thought disorders, they do get out of it, but it's awful to see while it lasts, and there isn't a great deal that we can do in terms of talking to people, because they won't get it, because their thoughts are too disordered to understand what we're trying to say to them. It's a really difficult symptom of psychosis to deal with.